All right, today we're going to go over Master Timeframes once again, and we're just going to start by taking a look before we do that at what had happened here with Bitcoin. It's all in the series of rebuys, so very, very obvious that we have the daily trend holding, which is your range trend from back here. You can see it from here to here. It's your daily range trend, right? Like that daily range trend, once it breaks and if it holds, it represents the ability if price can even get down here, right? Like that's what that is. It represents you break that trend, and it represents that ability to get into that part of the move, right? So yeah, you've got that range trend holding up the move, and that's quite simple. If this were to break, then you open up your possibilities to get back down into that trend there. So that's pretty straightforward. The nice part about this is you have a very perfect one-to-one mirror, right? Like you get rid of this backside level. It was already tested. I believe this was a trend. Yes, that's a trend there that we had that we broke down. And you go from daily to daily, right? Like you're just kind of deafening the blows, if you would have it. You're hitting the daily, you're hitting another daily, and then you're just kind of bouncing off these dailies in order to get to your final target here. So we can simply delete that daily. That was the trend that we broke, and we've gotten back over it. You back tested it. Nice little entry. You ended up holding your move on the hourly here, which ends up becoming a 4-hour move. And we can walk through that a little bit in this master timeframes setup here. So like really you have the hourly level right here, and you have your hourly hold level right here. So, you would have had to have held this down and continue to hold this down if you were going to um, move down and continue to move down. But then you hit your hourly hold level. That 4-hour holds up the move, and you break right over top of that hourly, and you never back test it. So that's pretty straightforward. You've got a 4-hour time frame strength here, and it simply breaks your daily or your hourly, which is exactly what it's supposed to do. And if it were to offset, it would offset on a daily, which is right here. So you've got 4-hour to daily right there. As always, we work time frames up, and if you haven't with the origin levels or polarity points like that, well, not or polarity, origin levels, and they are also polarity. Origin levels there, they act as one time frame up. So you've pretty much got like a perfect setup here. You've got the hourly, gets offset by the 4, which breaks the hourly, goes after the daily, which is mirroring to this daily. So like you've got a very clean and very ultra expected result here. So why you wouldn't take this 4-hour rate here is simply because you've got the daily down here offsetting to there. So you do have like a little pullback on the 4, but I wouldn't have taken that. This has always been the level, as we discussed before. This is the kind of the perfect level to take that short. And it executes this morning, and it executes nicely just recently here, just actually right at 8 o'clock, right on the dot. So that's pretty cool. So just to recap the move here, you break your range trend right here. You fly up to your daily because you mirror the daily to the daily here, which is the 4-hour here being offset by the daily. So now we've created a Pandora's box to see if this thing can actually hold this move, or if it's going to break down and expose its next range. So now you're going to be in a game of range trends, and I won't worry about marking the range trends today, because today I want to go through another look at master timeframes down here, and just catching up on the day here for what we can expect for, or not what we can expect, but what happened and why it happened. It's all very straightforward at this point. Like we've gone through this for the past month and a half now, and time frame strength up and all that. It's all very expected. It's all hyper predictable. As long as you can understand master timeframes, which is really going to be everything from rebuys to entries to target positions. And master timeframes are, they're critically important, as you can see. They paint the picture, and they fill it in for the most part, as long as you can read the correct level. So what we're going to do here is we are going to go through what had happened once again at that move where we hit the daily, and we're going to work through this and just really get more experience on master timeframes. Even though we've already gone through it once, we're going to go through it. So you've got a daily level hit. Now we know we need to build up timeframes. Just like that daily up top, we know we're going to need a 4-hour somewhere. So up top, and actually, I guess we can go to that real quick to just explain this. Up top here, your 4-hour level, whether it be a trend, whether it be whatever your 4-hour level is, could be a 1-hour origin that ends up developing here because the range is creating. It could be this right here. It could be 33 minutes right here. We know we need to gain a 4-hour level, and it's as simple as that. So you're thinking about rebuys this whole time while we're going to do this. think about this 4-hour level example down here, because I want to like almost a mirror image of each other. Big candle, test, create level, big candle, test, create level, right? So like we are almost in an identical scenario, which it's like, it's kind of gross that the charts actually allow us to see this and do this on a regular basis. It's pretty ridiculous that it can be this simple in a way. Okay, so 4-hour level, you know, you hit the daily, you know, you need to gain the 4-hour level. So we're going to go through a little bit of a logic flow here. We have a 4-hour level to be gained. Well, what could offset a 4-hour level being gained? Well, it would be your hourly time frame. So if we were actually to go back and chop this one more candle, we want to see our 4-hour level gained, because we know that that's going to confirm that this move is holding the range trend, and at a minimum it's going to go to its mirror target. So this is engineered exactly from right when this 4-hour gets created. Now, there could have been other things in the way that stopped it, but that's not the case. This was the engineering of the move, and that's what happened, and the trigger points didn't hold it, so that's fine. So what could hold this thing? Well, an hourly level could hold this thing from creating that 4. So if you were to take your replayer tool here, and you have created a 4-hour level on this time frame, and you go back to your hourly here, you know your hourly is right there. You know you have the perfect hourly level right there to stop it. So we can actually even just go down into a smaller time frame here and say like, okay, we need to gain this, but the hourly is what's going to stop from gaining that. So rejection as a target would deep dive that hourly level here. So let's just go take a look here. So you've got your hourly test right there. Perfect. So what would offset an hourly? Well, it would be a 15-minute level. So we have a 15-minute hold level right here, right? So you have a 15-minute hold right here. And you have what could be the origin creation here. And possibly we might as well add it to this one right here, right? So you have a few levels here that are representing your 15-minute level. So your 15-minute level would be first. So rebuying a 15-minute level. If you wanted to, if you thought this was in success and you could measure all 3 levels, oopsies, measure all 3 levels, that's a pretty big spread. But we're just going to walk through this and see what it looks like first. So, you know, getting rebuy on the 15 here would be pretty important. So let's just walk through here. You get stopped at the hourly, you hit your hourly level. That's fine. You're saying, okay, are we going to gain this or not? The hourly level is holding it, so we can just delete that now. So we have an hourly level here, and really we're looking for a 15-minute rebuy on the bottom, and there it is, perfect 15-minute rebuy right there. Which rebuy should you take here? This covers every level, so that's obviously smart here. This here covers both levels. It could technically cover all 3. That would start getting a little risky, but I would rather hold this part of the range, because you can create maybe not there, maybe 5-minute level. You can create all these trends, right? Like you can create your trend architecture on this to this, and et cetera, et cetera. Like you got here to here, or even possibly the beginning of the range right there to there, and that's going to be broken, and you're going to end up being here. So you know you're pretty much already here to here on this range trend, and that's not really relevant, but we can just leave it there as a 5-minute level. So the hourly gets offset by the 15 on the bottom. So if you were to rebuy something against this hourly, because you're saying, hey, we're gonna gain this hold level as long as this range can hold. So we can delete that because we know this range has to hold right here. We are going to gain this 4-hour level if we can pass what will stop it, which is the hourly, and the hourly will be offset by the 15. So you've got literal perfect entry here in this trade. If you haven't gotten entry at this point, the next thing you do is you go after your 5-minute level, which is right here. You know, you got a reverse level, 5-minute level. It needs to kind of ladder above. So is the ladder criteria going to be met? Yes or no? And there's that 5-minute level right there. Is that ladder criteria going to be met? Yes or no? And if so, it's going to be happening off that 5-minute level. So you've got a 5-minute level holding up the chart after the 15, and you can already see where the only thing that can offset all of this would be this 15-minute level here on the chart right here, 15. And you can even, you know, just duplicate the level. Oh, we're not going to duplicate the level. There we go. We're going to duplicate the level. You could even just duplicate that right there, and maybe even get into some stuff up here. But like at that point, you've gained the 4-hour, and that's fine. So you've got your 5-minute level. You've got a 3-minute hold level. And if that 3-minute hold level holds, it's your perfect spot for entry. There's nothing left. You've got a 4-hour level that's being offset on the hourly. That hourly, the only thing that can stop it from moving is the 15. The 15 hits right here. Perfect entry. You are being shown that if this keeps laddering its range, your next buy is on the 5-minute, which was right here. That's your 5-minute level. And then if the 3-minute holds, you're good. The only thing you really have left is a 1-minute level after this 3-minute hold. So like if you haven't gotten in this trade, you can fully expect this thing. I'm just going to go one candle at a time here. You can fully expect this thing to have some kind of crazy launch off point, right? Like you can fully expect this to have just to break up the move, because you're gaining every single time frame you need, and you're pinning this down to the minute almost. And then even if you were to go and add your trends, I'm sure you're going to break trend and just fly through this thing, right? Like I'm sure you're going to have something like this. I'm just going to randomly add this one, see what happens. There's that trend. Second you fly over this, the move should be like literally snapped out. There it is, hits that hourly again. I don't even think you're going to see this thing come back. Right? Because there's nothing left in the move. There's nothing left. You've broken your trend. Like you've completed the criteria of every single part of this move. You have a master time frame, which is below, which is the daily. It's showing you that you need to gain the 4 hour. In order to gain the 4 hour, the only thing that can hold it down is the time frame below it, which it attempts to, but then it gets offset by the 15, hitting the 5, hitting the 3, hitting the 1, breaking the trend. You have so many points for re-entry in this. It's not even funny. The amount of spots where you could have taken this trade and the chart is literally grabbing you by the ears and screaming in your skull, I am breaking the move up, is it's hard to miss this kind of move if you understand master timeframes. Because like you are literally executing an ABC 1, 2, 3 criteria. You have a 4 hour that's being offset by the hourly. So fine, let the 15 hit, don't buy it. Okay, fine, 15 hits. Let the 5 minute confirm that the 15 can hold. Okay, fine, that's there. You now have your trend, your interior range trend, which you know you have to break. So like you're in a race against trend between holding levels. So like even if you were to go back to here, your 15-minute level hit and you've got a range trend. Okay, great, we have a 5-minute level right here. Just to buy the 5 minute. If you want to see this thing confirm one more time, say you want to add even the smallest trend on your screen, and we're not even going to look for time frames. We're just going to go easiest trend. Even if you want the 5-minute time frame to confirm, then you have the 3. The 5 minute confirms, trend is holding. You've got a 3. Like like buy the 3. If it's not there, the 3 is not there, and you really need to see like your trend is starting to break. You've got a 1 minute level. You've got your rebuy right there. You've got it. And then you would even at this point be able to buy the polarity that held the move down. Even if you missed all of that and got above this daily, you literally have the polarity that held the move down as a re-entry to this trade. And it's just going to go straight up from there. So like there is absolutely, like if you understand master timeframes, there's absolutely no excuse to ever miss a trade like this, because you have everything being shown to you from the time frame that you need to what it would reject to the exact time frame it tested. And this is how breakouts happen, right? They confirm all the time frames, and those are the spots that people buy, because they say, look, the 4 hours holding, okay, the 15 was a greediest entry. That's the spot where if you were really risky, you'd take the 15-minute entry. Fine, don't take it. But every time you cycle through the next time frame, you've got more and more and more people who are, you know, high level traders buying these time frames, holding it up. And there's not a lot of them out there, but they're also putting hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars, tens of millions of dollars to hold up moves like this. So then if there's a reason why, and this is it, because your master time frame controls it all, and you can see exact architecture that breaks this down to the T, down to the 1 minute, down to the exact trend. Like it would be, like I said, it would be very tough to miss this trade. Even if everything in here confirmed to break, you still have polarity, which is the hourly to the 4, and we know that we always rebuy polarity. You've got polarity here, and you've still got an easy trade. You just don't get as much profits as the sharks on the bottom, because they, you know, you still get 2.6%, you just don't, or 2.2%, you just don't get the extra 1.1%, right? So you still got 220%, you just don't get 330. And master timeframes are a pretty crazy thing when you understand them. And then, you know, if you go and look right now at what's happening with this, you've almost got the same thing starting to develop. Like what is going to happen here? The 4 hour level needs to get created, and a whole, you know, et cetera, et cetera. Like you get the daily, you're going to have a 4 hour, all the same information for people to go and try to engineer this and to see how that can work out.